For over 100 years, Jehovah's organization has been producing books to help us teach people Bible truths. Do you remember when some of these study books were released? This Means Everlasting Life was released in 1950. The Truth That Leads to Eternal Life in 1968. You Can Live Forever in Paradise on Earth in 1982. And Knowledge That Leads to Everlasting Life in 1995. What did those titles have in common? They show that it's possible for a person to learn what Jehovah requires to live forever. And that's why we keep searching for people who are rightly disposed for everlasting life and who are willing to study the Bible with us. All of those books and several more that we published since then have been instrumental in helping people become believers in our wonderful hope for the future. In 2021, we added one more book to the list entitled Enjoy Life Forever, an Interactive Bible Course. This title adds another element, that it's possible not only to gain everlasting life, but also to learn how to enjoy life, even now.
Hopefully you've been enjoying Robert Ciranko's opening remarks in his talk, which has the theme,
See What Jehovah Has Done for Us.
One of the many things Jehovah has apparently done for us is produce over 100 years of books promising everlasting life. And not just everlasting life, but the imminent realization of everlasting life on a paradise earth landscaped over the devastation wrought by Armageddon. That's what he's really talking about here.
For over 100 years, Jehovah's organization has been producing books to help us teach people Bible truths.
Over 100 years. He's almost proud of it, isn't he? You'd think he'd be embarrassed. He is, after all, not just a governing body helper. He is also, as it happens, at least on paper, the president of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania. If you don't believe me, feel free to check on Wikipedia. So Robert Ciranko is speaking from quite some position of authority, even though he isn't himself a governing body member. And he's almost bragging about the fact that his organization has been producing this material, teaching people about the Bible, but really scaremongering people into fearing Armageddon for over 100 years. Let's call it 140 plus years if we go all the way back to the time of Charles Taze Russell. How is that something to be proud of? And are you really just teaching people Bible truths? Is that really the aim of Jehovah's Witnesses? Is it just to teach people? We're going to see evidence in this JW Broadcasting episode that it's not just an educational work, which is the excuse this organization gives government authorities when it comes to claiming charitable status. The work of Jehovah's Witnesses is aimed at baptizing people, is aimed at recruiting people into the group. In other words, what they're offering is not just on a take-it-or-leave-it basis. They're not going to continue studying with someone if they see evidence that that person isn't serious about becoming one of them. I also hope you caught the manipulative language here.
That's why we keep searching for people who are rightly disposed for everlasting life and who are willing to study the Bible with us.
So in order to study with Jehovah's Witnesses and indeed become one of Jehovah's Witnesses, you need to be rightly disposed. You need to have the right disposition. If you're not interested in studying with Jehovah's Witnesses, or if you become a Jehovah's Witness and later change your mind, probably it's because you're not rightly disposed. Probably it's because there's something wrong with you. You lack the right disposition. This is manipulation. It's one of many, many examples of gaslighting in Jehovah's Witness propaganda. And spoiler alert, Robert Ciranko is going to come out with similar language later on in his talk. And then we have these remarks about the Enjoy Life Forever book.
In 2021, we added one more book to the list entitled Enjoy Life Forever, an interactive Bible course.
You added one more book to the list. One more. Is that so, Robert Ciranko? This is apparently, folks, the last of the Bible study aids. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. And obviously, it's not going to be the last book that they release. But whoever's doing activism when they release the next book, maybe I'll still be doing it, who knows. I hope they drag the organization back to these words, because he was strongly suggesting there, at least in my opinion, that no more books will be needed after this one. But history indicates otherwise, because it's all a load of nonsense, because it's a doomsday group that's been jumping up and down about the apocalypse for 140 years and counting, there will always be a need to release new publications. And what I especially despise about this particular publication is its title, Enjoy Life Forever, an interactive Bible course. As I've said many times on this channel, there is nothing interactive about studying with Jehovah's Witnesses. Interactive implies that you are part of the process. So if Jehovah's Witnesses call on you with this book, and if it were truly interactive, you would be able to go through the book with them, and you would be able to decide what conclusions you draw. You would be able to decide what the Bible means to you and what your personal beliefs are, because it's interactive. That's what interactive means. But because it's not interactive, what you find is the opposite. The book, although it's designed so that you can watch videos and take part in question and answer sessions and that sort of thing and look at illustrations, that's not interactive in the truest sense of the word as far as I'm concerned. Everything in this book is designed to push you in one direction and one direction alone, and that's to embrace Jehovah's Witness beliefs and become a Jehovah's Witness.